southern Saskatchewan, where the home team will play host to the Boatmen. And both teams are looking for answers to their quarterbacking questions. Ray Yach has the 1990 Grey Cup MVP, Tom Burgess, at the helm, while veteran coach Bob Ovilovich has also gone to a Grey Cup hero from days gone by. 86 MVP Mike Kerrigan directs the Toronto attack. It's the Argos against the Western Riders, coming up next on the CFL Live. For 6 seasons, he was an all-star slot back for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. But now he's moved east to the rebuilding Toronto Argonauts. Jeff Fairholm has blazing speed and terrific agility. And last week he proved to the Argos that their free agent grab was a great catch indeed.
It's a very exciting time. I'm living in downtown Toronto. I have a lot of new friends and exciting friends and doing a lot of different things in a nice big city. It's a really exciting time for me.
In Saskatchewan, Fairholm learned from the master. Ray Elgaard is an advanced student of the game. His next catch will be the 707th of his career, moving him ahead of Rocky DiPietro for top spot on the CFL's all-time pass reception list.
I wouldn't say excited, but I'm kind of itching to get going. I want this thing to happen, and I want it to happen soon, and to have our little festivities and get on with it.
Tonight from Regina, the pupil meets his teacher on the CFL Live. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the CFL Live from Taylor Field. I'm Gord Miller. What a week of milestones it's been in the Canadian Football League. Last night in Vancouver, Lou Pasaglia broke Ron Lancaster's record for most career games played. Tonight, Ray Elgaard will certainly become the CFL's all-time leading receiver. Elgaard, who has quietly avoided the spotlight throughout his career, will be squarely in it tonight, as will the two teams. To talk more about them, here's John Wells.
All right, Gordon, some similarities between these two teams tonight. Both are 1-1 after 2 games, and both are searching for a new identity. The Argos will have 12 raw rookies in their roster tonight, Leif. Saskatchewan Roughriders have 5, and that's not counting the rest of the new faces in new places.
Yeah, John, you know, I think tonight's game is a case of two teams trying to find out how good they really are, and you're right, they have made a lot of changes. For the Toronto Argonauts, 14 of their 24 starters are new to the team this year, and to expect them to be a cohesive unit in a short period of time is a lot. Saskatchewan, the story's a little bit different. For head coach Ray Yach, he had to replace some departed stars. Gone are Kent Austin, Gerald Bayless, and, of course, Jeff Fairholm. And, you know, obviously he thinks he has the right personnel in there, but I think realistically for both these teams, it's going to be about a month before they realize if they've made the right decisions or not.
One thing we do know for sure, Leif, Ray Elgaard will be the #1 star of this show tonight, but after that, #2 is anyone's guess. Gord?
That's right, John, and coming up at halftime, we'll have more on the #1 star, a man many fans around the CFL don't know very well. Ray Elgaard speaks quietly, but his actions on the field speak volumes, and we'll have more about him at the half, as well as the rest of the happenings from around the league. But we're getting set now for the kickoff. Let's go back upstairs to John and Lee.
It's Ray's night in Regina. The Riders' greatest receiver of all time, Ray Elgaard, steps into the spotlight once more. What'll be the difference in this one tonight, Leif?
Well, John, as you look at this game, I think the difference could be the kickers. Wayne Lamley, a young rookie, and the veteran Dave Ridgway. And when it all comes out in the end, I think the Saskatchewan Roughriders have a distinct advantage in Dave Ridgway.
And Ridgway will get first kick at it tonight. Deep receivers for the Toronto Argonauts standing back near the 10-yard line. Titus Dixon, number 8, to the near side. And we're ready to get this football evening underway. Robert Gordon gets his hands on the football. He's out to the 38. Tonight's starting lineup brought to you by Speedy Autoglass. Don't take a chance. Take your Autoglass repairs and replacement to Speedy Autoglass. Mike Kerrigan, looking for better numbers, looking for a quicker start for the Toronto Argonauts as they play their second game in a row on the road. From the 39, Argos first down. In Kerrigan's backfield, Dwayne Ford and Mike Clemens. And the receivers, Masadi and Dixon outside. Gordon and Fairholm are the inside receivers.
Boy, John, I don't think there's any question that this is the most improved group on the football team. Last year, an awful Toronto Argonaut offensive line. This year, much improved. This is a good-looking group up front to protect for Mike Kerrigan.
Gain was 5. This is 2nd and 5. Shotgun for Kerrigan. Over the middle, and Fairholm has a great catch. He's down near the 45 of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Jeff Fairholm, first catch in this part in blue and white.
Yeah, what a catch it was. He's working on the rookie, Aaron Ruffin, number 33. Watch a little move to the outside, and then with the good acceleration and speed, and Ruffin gambles right here. He comes underneath, trying to go for the interception, and with tremendous concentration, watch Jeff Fairholm make a super catch. And boy, what a way to open the ball game. You like to get off to good offensive start in the course of Fairholm against his old mates. That's a nice one, too.
Yeah, 25-yard gain as Kerrigan goes over the middle again. This time it's almost picked up. Albert Brown had a chance after Masadi had his hands on the ball, and Albert Brown almost brought it in. Defensively, Wayne Drinkwalder starting again for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Sean Brantley was there for 3 games last year, and the veteran Lewis. Gary Rogers a little new, but Bernard, very experienced. Getz in the middle is solid.
And the only real newcomer to the league is number 33, Aaron Ruffin, who was tested early by the veteran Jeff Fairholm.
2nd and 10, Kerrigan shotgun near side, and Dixon makes the catch before stepping out of bounds. He needed to get off to a good start tonight, Titus Dixon.
Yeah, I really did. The pressure is on Titus Dixon tonight. You know, they got him in a trade from the Sacramento Gold Miners. He had over 1,000 yards last year, a great season, but he's been dropping a lot of footballs so far in 2 games with the Argonauts, and the pressure was squarely on him. They're going to make a change. If he doesn't play well tonight, he's off to a good start.
Kerrigan is off to a good start. Fairholm is as well, and Titus Dixon with the Argos after a 13-yard gain set up inside the Saskatchewan 30. Kerrigan sideline again, and this time Dwayne Ford. Check that, Bob Gordon, the intended receiver.
One of the ways to try and slow down a receiving corps is to give them a pretty good bump off the line of scrimmage. There you see Donaldson bumps him into Ron Getz, and boy, if you're Paul Mazzatti and you're a little undersized and you want to come in the middle, you better have the chin strap done up.
Mazzatti comes to the near side this time. 2nd and 10 Argos. Shotgun again. Kerrigan rolling. And this time he is picked off. Ruffin had it and then dropped it. Aaron Ruffin had the opportunity for the interception.
Well, he got beaten by Jeff Fairholm coming underneath, but he does it once again because the ball hangs up just a touch, and trying to go to Fairholm. Ruffin with the good solid play really should have had the interception, but boy, it's not often you see a young rookie come underneath so much. So obviously that tells me he's playing with a lot of confidence. And Glenn Suter was talking about him. Of course, Suter, 11 years here in Regina, said this guy is going to be good. He said, Leaf, you watch him tonight, you'll be impressed.
Wayne Lamley has hit on 50% of his field goals. This from 35 yards. And this one is wide.
Yeah, that could be the difference in this ball game tonight.
So the Argos, with an impressive drive, walk away with just 1 point. And here comes Tom Burgess, 713 yards passing so far. Too many interceptions for the touchdowns thrown.
Well, that's been the story of his entire career. You know, he's a career 52% passer with 163 interceptions and 164 touchdowns. Now, that's not an overly desirable ratio, and I think you see the reason why. Already in the year, he's given up 4 interceptions, only 2 touchdown passes to go along with it. But he's got a solid receiving corps to work with here in Regina.
No doubt about it. Narcisse and Thompson are on the outside. It is 1st and 10 Saskatchewan from the 35. Burgess stands in. This one is batted down. And one of the front three. Campbell, Carroll, or Harding got a mid on that one. 2nd and 10, Saskatchewan. Near side this time. Farthing and Narcisse. Burgess, 2nd and 10. Farthing makes the catch. He's out at the 50-yard line. Tommy Henry covering on Dan Farthing. 3 starts last year for Farthing. This is his chance to shine. 27 yards.
Yeah, what an opportunity for him, taking over from Jeff Fairholm, and a nice move on Tommy Henry. A little post corner back to the outside. The ball on target, and Tommy Burgess gets off to a nice start. Farthing, what an opportunity. He's been here for 4 years, all kinds of tremendous college credentials at the University of Saskatchewan, but now it's his job to keep.
From the 48, Riders keep it on the ground. Sean Daniels, number 38. Not much running room there, perhaps. Well, let's mark it at 0, really. For Burgess in the backfield, Daniels and solid Mike Saunders. Thompson and Narcisse, the wideouts. Inside, it's Dan Farthing with a reliable Ray Elgaard.
And the one change of note on the offensive line is rookie Chris Burns replaces Greg Hendrickson, who's left for the NFL, and it's been a difficult first 2 games for Mr. Burns.
On first down at the 48, Burgess far side, Farthing again. He gets up and grabs a couple more before he's nailed. Harding was there, and Brian McCurdy also in the neighborhood. 7 yards the gain on the toss from Burgess to Farthing. Up front, Campbell and Harding were there last year. Carroll and Swift Birch are the newcomers. And among the backers, 2 new ones to join Don Moen, Calvin Tiggle, and Charlie Farm.
And we mentioned all the newcomers to Toronto this year. Well, there's 8 in the defense, and 4 of them are in the secondary. Tommy Henry with some experience with Sacramento last year, and of course the veteran Reggie Pleasant did not play last week with a hamstring injury, and boy, are they glad to have him back.
Here's Brent Matich standing right at midfield. And Mike Clemens deep. Matich nails this one. And there's no play for pinball as the ball trickles back to the end line. 1-1. 55-yard single for Brent Matich. It is even, but it is early. Burgess and the Rough Riders taking on the Argos and Mike Kerrigan at Taylor Field, Regina.
The CFL Live on TSN. Tonight's game is brought to you by Pepsi. Be young, have fun, drink Pepsi. And by Mark's Work Wearhouse, clothes that work. Welcome back to Regina on Ray Elgaard night at Taylor Field. Fans here have come to appreciate his talents, and so have opponents around the league. One of Elgaard's biggest fans is Toronto Argonaut coach Bob Obilovich.
You know what, I was there in Hamilton that year that Rocky did it, so it's nothing new for me, and I can still remember the play when Rocky made the catch. It was a short corner, and it was underthrown, and he made a good catch beating our DB on the ball, and I already told Elgaard I'll throw him a ball before the game just to get it over with, and then we can get on with the game. So I think it's a great thing for him, though. He's had a great career.
Let's get on with the game as the way Ray Elgaard is looking at this. He'd like to catch a ball early in this one. Nothing in his direction so far.
You know, I'm a little surprised they didn't try and get it over with on the first series, get it out of the way, but it just didn't happen that way.
1st and 10 for the Argos after the single for Saskatchewan. Argos at the 35. Kerrigan with time, and he's on target. Nice catch right at midfield by Mazzotti, number 88. Solid receiver. Paul Mazzotti, 18 yards this time.
Yeah, what the play action does is frees the linebackers enough that when you throw into that lane, you have good clearance in there. And Paul Mazzotti, who's always had nice soft hands, makes a good catch against Albert Brown. I mean, that's a tough pattern to run against Albert Brown because he likes to come up and play tough. But Mazzotti back in the lineup tonight. He missed last week. He, too, with a hamstring injury.
Mazzotti is to the far side on first down. And this is the pinball. Mike Clemens for about 3 yards. Gary Lewis made the tackle as Pinball got to the 55.
Toronto Argonauts would really like to use Mike Clements much the way the Ottawa Rough Riders did with Michael Richardson before he got hurt. They want him to touch the ball 25 times a game, whether it's on the ground, through the air. They don't really care. And what they'd like to see at the end of the year is that Mike Clements sets a new all-purpose record that he set back in 1990 of 3,300 yards. But he is the focal point of this offense.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Shotgun down. Second down. Kerrigan. And Mazzatti again. Mazzatti away from one. And he's down inside the 25-yard line. Dale Joseph, number 21, finally put the stop on Mazzatti. This time, a 33-yard gain.
And once again, he fights off the chuck of Albert Brown and gets to the inside. Glenn Suter, the middle safety, is not there. And, you know, if Suter's going to not come up and stick you in the middle, Toronto can really work this area as they have twice already to Mazzatti.
Mazzatti has the Argos at the Saskatchewan 22. First down. Drop left. By Clemens squirts through. He's inside the 20. Down near the 15-yard line. Gain of 5.
But, John, I talked about Mike Clements and his all-purpose production. Those are the numbers he's been able to put together in a couple of weeks. That all adds up to 402 yards of all-purpose yardage, and he is right on target to break the record he set. Nice guy. I said, Mike, I don't think, you know, the worst day anybody could ever have, you'd meet them and you'd make them feel better about it.
And he'd be smiling, absolutely. Yeah. Gain was 3. This is 2nd and 7. Kerrigan looks to put it up. Now he looks to take off. Not noted as a runner. Jurison got him from behind, number 71 for the Rough Riders. And let's see where they spot it this time.
Well, I think at times Mike Kerrigan's a little underrated as a running quarterback. Obviously, he's not going to beat you like a Danny Barrett or, you know, a Damon Allen, Matt Dunnigan type. But, you know, here he is pretty effective. He drops back and he doesn't see anything open. And what's going to happen is his center, Blaine Schmidt, there's the block by Schmidt right there. And look at the hole he has to run through right here. Hey, there's no linebackers left. So although he's not a great runner, enough to almost pick up the first down. Or in fact, did he get it?
Yeah, he's got it.
Great.
They have just measured. And it'll be 1st and 10 Argos. A couple of impressive drives for the Argo offense.
Well, I think it's important for them to get off to a quick start in this game, and there's no question they've been able to do that.
Toronto, 1st and 10, Saskatchewan 12. Pinball tries the outside. No one on the Rider defense was fooled. Dale Joseph, number 21, coming up to slow Pinball down, and Jurison was there to make the pin, a loss of 3.
Bobby Jurison off to a fast start this year with a couple of sacks in 2 games, and boy, always his enthusiasm is so impressive before the game. He is a true leader on this Saskatchewan defense.
2nd and 13 Argos. Back at the 15, Kerrigan to his right. On target for Gordon, and that'll be a first down at the 5. Oh, hang on. He's short of the first down. So it'll be 3rd down, and the Argos have knocked on the Rough Rider door a couple of times.
Good catch by Bobby Gordon, but pretty good coverage to keep him short of the first down, and the Argonauts decide to gamble.
Argos are at the 5. They have to get to the 2 for a first down. It was there. Titus Dixon dropped the first down and likely the touchdown toss from Mike Kerrigan.
Well, Titus Dixon doesn't start making these catches. He's going to be looking for other kind of employment because it's happened too many times so far in 1994. This was a beautiful looking play. Look at Fairholm. He's walled off Albert Brown, and if they don't call a pick, he's into the end zone for what would have been a touchdown. It just goes. It's a simple turnover now.
Score's pretty simple right now. It is 1-1 at Taylor Field in Regina. This is CFL Live. The Argos have marched the ball effectively and come away with only 1 point on 2 rather long drives. This one stalls at the Saskatchewan 5. Argos have held onto the football for almost 8 minutes compared to 2:41 for Saskatchewan, but it's all even on the scoreboard.
You know, 150 yards of total offense for the Argonauts so far, and 10 minutes of play, and to come away with only 1 point. A little bit frustrating for Ray Yock. He has to be a little concerned. Lost a tough overtime game to the Las Vegas Posse in Las Vegas last week, but won a real thriller here at Taylor Field in the opener against the Calgary Stampeders, where they came back, and he has to be a little concerned with the way his team has played here in the first quarter.
Little confusion on the Toronto sideline before that third down attempt, guys. They thought they got the first down. Some of the players were indicating the Gordon catch gave them a first down. It wasn't enough time to make the decision for a field goal. They were forced to go for it on third down.
And Gord, that's when the spotters up in the booth have to take total control and tell Bob Abilovich, hey, this is what the situation is.
Saskatchewan 1st and 10. This drive begins at the 5. Mike Saunders, number 32, gets out near the 10-yard line on first down.
Saunders up about 5 yards. Second down on the 10.
Well, here's where Tom Burgess would really like to grind it out and get at least a couple of first downs to get some breathing room in case the drive stalls. And, you know, Brent Matich is having a great year, about 49-yard average in punting. But, well, you need a couple of first downs at least to get yourself out of trouble.
Second and 5, Saskatchewan. Burgess looks to throw. Comes to the near side for Narcisse. And that'll be a Rough Rider first down. Reggie Pleasant made the tackle out near the 20.
Don Narcisse technically is probably the crispest pass receiver that the Saskatchewan Roughriders have. His patterns are flawless. Oh boy, those are his career numbers, and he has truly had a great year. Only 36 away now from 500 catches, which would put him in the top 15 all-time in the league.
Yeah, he grabbed 10 more on that play. Rough Riders now at the 20 on first down. Burgess in trouble, and he can't get it away. Mike Campbell got through to get to Tom Burgess and sack him at the 10.
Mike Campbell, his only job when the rollout comes is to get that outside leverage. And here you'll see that when he gets out here, Tom Burgess has no place to go. Now, the pattern doesn't develop, and he wants to run with it. But Mike Campbell does such a good job at keeping that contained that Burgess has nowhere to go. He comes up with a sack.
Loss is 10 yards. This will be 2nd and 20. The Rough Riders back at the Saskatchewan 10. Burgess has time, and then it's batted down and almost intercepted by Kevin Carroll, number 94, who had it dribble through his mitts.
Another series stalls, and Ray Elgaard still waiting to get the record that I'm sure he will get tonight. I hope he gets it. Rocky DiPietro made the trip all the way out here, and he wants to get it done.
He hasn't even been close to the ball on the Riders' offensive sequences so far.
Rocky DiPietro had the line of the night. He said, Leaf, I don't mind coming to congratulate on beating my record, but I wish the game had been in Vegas.
This one not as deep for Matich. Argos will get great field position here. The pinball draws a flag, and there's not much running room, and now he escapes to the outside. Down the sidelines, another flag is down. Pinball is still on his feet till he gets to the 10-yard line. 33-yard punt, 33-yard return, but there are infractions, folks.
Well, John, you know, you look at the two teams' kicking games, and obviously Ridgeway gets the edge over Lamley, but in the whole kicking special teams game, there's no question Toronto has the edge with Pinball Clemens. Boy, is he exciting. Already one punt return for a touchdown against the Baltimore in the opener.
One indication is a holding call against the Argos. But Steen is sorting things out. 2:18 to go in the opening quarter, and only 2 points on the board so far. It's 1-1, Toronto, Saskatchewan. Obviously, it's a dicey problem, Lee.
Well, whatever it is, the Toronto Argonauts are going to have great field position to begin this next drive, and with 150 yards in total offense in less than a quarter, they must be thrilled with the way their offense has performed. You know, as a group, they have pretty good personnel. That's a receiving core that you have to kind of like. Mazzotti and Dixon outside, although Dixon has dropped a lot of balls, and Bobby Gordon and Jeff Fairholm inside. A lot of speed at the inside receiver spot.
One thing, though, Leaf, the Argos haven't scored with the wind. They've only got 2 more minutes with the stiff breeze of their backs. They'll want more than 2 points that they got so far.
Yeah, I agree. You know, it becomes frustrating when you move the ball that easily and come away with nothing. And, you know, these two teams, as we mentioned in the opening, are so similar that, you know, if one really gets the confidence flowing, it might carry them through to a win.
I think they've sorted it out, folks.
No yard, 5-yard penalty, Saskatchewan number 33. On the run back, we have holding, Toronto number 93. Both penalties are applied, the net 5-yard loss.
Now, what was so tough about that?
I don't know. I don't know. It took a while. It'll be a first down, Toronto, when we return to Saskatchewan. Home of the Rough Riders.
It's a goaltender's duel at Taylor Field, 1-1 so far. A huge crowd came here to see Ray Elgaard break the record, but it's interesting, you know, Elgaard doesn't have his catch. The Riders have had trouble offensively, and the oomph has really gone out of this crowd, for lack of a better expression. They're getting a little restless now. They want Elgaard to get the record, and they want the Riders to get going.
The Argos fans could be thinking the same thing. 2 very impressive drives, as Leaf mentioned a moment ago, and still just 1 point on the board. But look where the Argos are now, set up after the penalties and after a short kick.
I think Gord made a good point a few moments ago. There's 2:18 remaining in the quarter with the wind at their back. I suggest a touchdown would be in order for them.
1st and 10 Argos, Saskatchewan 47. Mike Clemens. And he's down near the 40-yard line. Met there by Sean Brantley. 7 yards the gain for the pinball.
Toronto had great difficulty running the football last year, but with this revamped offensive line, we're going to get a lot more yardage on the ground. And Jeff Fairholm downfield.
It's Aaron Ruffin.
Yeah, a little slap fight, a little slapping going on downfield with the receivers. Not too many hard blocking, a little slapping.
2nd and 3, Toronto. Kerrigan looks to the far side. Good catch over there. It'll be a first down, as Gordon is forced out of bounds at the Saskatchewan 25 by Glenn Suter.
And here you're going to see a reason why he was open. Watch here, a little pick right there, whoop, out there, and it makes it pretty easy. You be the judge. Is this a pick or not? Yeah, I think so. Referee's pretty lenient right there. That's definitely an erupt to free up Bobby Gordon.
15 yards for Gordon, but he's shaken up on the play. Bob Gordon, number 84. Pretty good start to the season. 8 receptions, 111 catches, and a couple of touchdowns.
Well, you know, it's a good style of offense to use, especially when Albert Brown is playing up and bump and run on Paul Mazzotti, because when Mazzotti comes inside now, you've got 2 people potentially knocking off the inside halfback, Anthony Drawhorn. It was Mazzotti that did it, but Drawhorn could have as easily run into his own man. The Toronto Argonauts, you look at Bobby Gordon, they said coming out of training camp, the 4 best receivers are going to play. Where are they going to play? We're not quite sure. Bobby Gordon is really a wide receiver, but he was one of the 4 best, so they made a spot for him at the slot.
Argos with a 1st and 10, Saskatchewan 25. The pitch to pinball. He'll throw it back to Kerrigan. He makes the catch. Wide open, Mike Kerrigan. He is down inside the 10-yard line. And Albert Brown finally got over to react to this one.
Boy, and then this is a nice-looking play as you're going to see. Watch pinball come here. Kerrigan gives him the ball and then goes that way. The receiver comes in here, and Mike Pinball Clemens throws a perfect strike. And, boy, did they take that Regina defense by surprise, and rightfully so. How many times have you seen Kerrigan catch a pass in his career?
Yeah, Pinball is 1 for 1 on the night. He's the best quarterback on the field.
Hey, that was pretty.
Solid play. The Argos set up inside the Saskatchewan 10. Kerrigan looks for 6. Jeff Fairholm can't make the catch. He was in behind the cover, and Kerrigan sailed it just a little long.
Well, you know, it's Fairholm tried to get away from Ruffin. There was just enough of a collision. Oh, that he just couldn't catch up with it. Mike Kerrigan had a touchdown there, but couldn't connect.
It'll be 2nd and goal. Argos at the Rough Riders 7.
2nd down on the 7.
Ford.
Pretty interesting call by Mike Kerrigan, and a good block by Jovanovic, and Dwayne Ford powers it down to the 1-yard line, and decision time. I really don't think it's decision.
You're at the one. It's 3rd and goal to go.
Yeah.
Run with it.
Yeah, I think Obi makes the right call here. You got the wind at your back. You have to get off to a bit of a lead.
A late substitution, and Kerrigan has to hurry to get out of the ball. 3rd and goal to go. Argos at the Saskatchewan 1. Markers are down. Namako got the call, and no indication of a touchdown. The Rider defense is celebrating, but there was a marker down before the play.
Yes, the flag is gone. Hold the ball.
Well, how about that, folks? The Argos have moved the ball at will against the Saskatchewan defense, except inside the 10-yard line, and they've had problems. They got all the way to the 1-yard line. And the indication is the penalty is against Toronto. Other part of the story, the Argos didn't get into the end zone.
Offside, Saskatchewan number 21. Illegal substitution, Toronto number 24. 3rd down repeated.
They'll get another crack at it. But this time from back at the 6. So there's no decision to be made here. Lots of confusion on the Argo bench. So the Argos will settle for 3.
And that's frustrating, John, to have this much offense and these many opportunities and have to settle for field goals.
Wayne Lamely is good. A 13-yard field goal. And the Argos have a 4-1 lead on the Rough Riders, but it should have been more. Lots more ahead on the CFL Live from Taylor Field, Regina. Well, we have a moment at Taylor Field in Regina. We'd like to say good evening to a good friend and colleague, Gord Cutler, who's in the Scarborough General Hospital back in Toronto. We wish you a speedy recovery, Gord. Get back and up and at him as soon as possible. Gord has been a producer on CFL football, currently producing the NHL tonight. And we wish him well.
Yeah, we sure do, John. Gordy, if you're listening tonight, I hope you are. All our best. And get out of that hospital soon. That's not a fun place to be in. You get out of there.
1st and 10, Saskatchewan. From the 30. Burgess has the time, looks over. Don Narcisse, or rather Farthing, number 10. And it's a 10-yard gain. Charlie Farms in on the tackle. Well, the numbers are interesting from the first quarter. Not many points on the board.
I don't know. Maybe Gord Miller can tell me if the wind is that much of a factor. It doesn't appear to be from up here, but Toronto certainly well ahead in the statistical department after 1 quarter.
Well, it's died down now, gentlemen, but it was blowing pretty stiffly midway through that first quarter. Just a breeze now.
Not quite a 10-yard gain as they spot the ball just short of the 45. It'll be 2nd and less than a yard to go. Wallace Saunders makes a 1st down. He's to the 45. And Elgard hasn't seen the ball or been close to it.
Well, maybe this is the plan of Ray Yock. You know, Ray Yock's thinking, hey, Toronto's thinking we're going to go to him early and get it over with, and we'll just keep waiting and waiting and waiting, and maybe we'll mess up their defensive plans and throw it all the other guys.
I think they were planning to go early to Elgard on that first pass, if you think back, and it was batted down. So then they had to change their thought process just a little bit. Then he lost the ball.
Well, that's going to count as a catch. Sure not the way he wanted to do it, but nevertheless, there he is. All-time pass reception leader, Ray Elgaard. And listen to this crowd.
Take a bow, Mr. Elgaard. This is all part of the plan to stop the play. Elgaard with 7:07 right here.
Well, it took you to the second quarter to get it. A little hitch pass into the soft zone area. Pretty good hit to knock the ball away, but nevertheless, that is the all-time pass reception leader making the catch to do it. Another look again. I think Toronto would say, hey, look, here he is. You can have it. Get it over with.
707, and that beats Rocky DiPietro, the long-serving Hamilton Tiger Cat. Little celebration planned at Taylor Field.
You don't want to go? Look, you're going to be on TV. Say hi. Say hi, Mama. Hi, Grandma. Hi, Grandpa. Rocky, let's get going here, buddy.
Elgaard wants the show to get on and get over with and back to this football game, so we'll send you to PA announcer Roy Brown to get these festivities underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, in center field, as you can see, we're going to commemorate the occasion of Catch 707, a new CFL all-time record for reception. This mark, along with Ray's CFL record for the most receiving yards of over 11,400 yards, also marks the first time since 1985 when CFL great Tommy Joe Coffey had the honor of holding both records. Few players in the CFL history have laid claims to both records of receptions and receiving yards. But now they belong to our own number 81, Ray Elgaard. At this time, the great CFL and Canadian player, former Hamilton Ticat and record holder, Rocky DiPietro, will present Ray that record-setting ball. Our special thanks to Rocky, who made the trip today from Eastern Canada to congratulate Ray. Miss Saskatchewan Rough Rider, Teresa Kivo, will present to Ray's wife, Gina, and daughter, Lenena, a ticket of appreciation from all the Rider fans of the football club on Ray's big day. Now Rider President John Lipp presenting a plaque from the Canadian Football League. And from you, all the fans, teammates, and the football club, General Manager Alan Ford and Brian Melby, representing Sanyo Audio Warehouse, will present Ray and his family's state-of-the-art Design 2000 Deluxe Sanyo 33-inch color TV to commemorate this great CFL record of most receptions. Ray and Gina can now watch this record-setting performance and all those great home movies of the kids and family on this beautiful Sanyo TV. As well, there's a trip for two to Las Vegas, courtesy of you fans and the football club. And Ray, here's a couple of quick messages from a pair of CFL record holders and former Rider greats. I'm reading, congratulations on becoming the CFL's all-time leading receiver. It is something to be proud of and to remember. Just think how many passes you would have caught if you had a good quarterback throwing you the ball. Ha ha. Congratulations from the all-time leading CFL passer, former Rider great number 23, the Little General, Ron Lancaster. And Ray, here's a second telegram. It reads, Ray, I would like to congratulate you on this historic moment in your career. Becoming the all-time leading receiver in the CFL will be something you'll cherish forever. Congratulations. From the all-time leading CFL rusher, former great number 34, George Reed. Well, there you have it, folks. The Riders now have the leading CFL passer, rusher, and receiver, Ronnie, George, and Ray. Not bad for a small franchise. Our special thanks to Rocky DiPietro for making this day special for Ray, and to Sanyo Audio Warehouse for saluting rider achievements throughout the season. Thank you. Thank you, fans.
What a wonderful place this Taylor Field has been over the years. Ron Lancaster, the all-time pass leader, over 50,000 thrown. George Reed, the all-time rushing leader, and add 81 to that list of green and white. They've got all three leaf the triple play.
That's pretty impressive for one team, and truly a record that all the great fans in Regina can take pride in, because they were a big part of it. They saw it. They supported it. Go back and have a look at some of the great catches throughout Ray Elgar's career, a career that saw him become the Canadian MVP 3 times, 7 times, over 1,000 yards on his way to the all-time yardage leader, reception leader. You know, it's funny, you look at Rocky DiPietro and Ray Elgar, so similar in their physical appearance and styles.
We're back to live action now. The Rough Riders are 2nd and 7, and short of the first down at the 50. As Darrell Wallace made the catch and Pleasant made the tackle. Ray Elgar's first CFL reception, July 7th, 1983. It was a 17-yard toss from Joey 747 Adams. A 3rd down kicking situation for Brent Matich. Across the 40, almost blocked. He just got it away, but it's a great kick.
Oh, what a kick!
Down to the 1-yard line. No play for the pinball. Big smile for Brent Matich. And the Argos have a long way to go, but they do have the lead, if only by 3.
Finally, Ray Elgar is #1, surpassing Rocky DiPietro as the CFL's all-time leading receiver. And the man who is now #2 joins me here. Rocky DiPietro made the trip from Southern Ontario. Well, it was fun while it lasted, I guess.
Well, I guess it was. You know, it was something I took a lot of pride in. But, you know, I've got nothing to be ashamed of giving up to a guy like Ray Elgar. He's had a great career, and he's still going strong.
Talked to Ray yesterday. He said the one thing that you and he have in common, both Canadians who got to learn the game and work your way through it. I know that's something that you're proud of in his case, too.
Well, you know, I think he hit the nail right on the head, and hopefully there's a few more coaches around that'll give a Canadian guy maybe just a little more time to learn the ropes.
What are you up to these days?
Presently, I'm teaching high school in Welland, Ontario, Notre Dame High School, and really enjoying it.
Maybe you can help me with some of those math problems later. Thanks, Rocky.
Sure, anytime, bro.
Hey, Rocky looks good.
Yeah, he really does. And yeah, Gordy Patterson and I brought him along in his rookie years.
You taught Rocky everything he knew about the early days in Canadian football.
Yeah, he came to us in Hamilton as a raw rookie from the University of Ottawa, and we smoothed him out, got the edges smoothed off, and look what happened to him.
That's perfect, Lever. Argos are pinned in after a 59-yard punt. Son, a bit of a problem down near the Argo end zone. It is 1st and 10 from the 1. Kerrigan comes to the near side, has his man, one-handed catch, and the pinball is on his way. With Suter to beat, Suter slowed him down, and the pinball is caught from behind. There's a marker back near the 35. For now, call it 74 yards, but we'll wait and see.
What a catch by Mike Clemens, and the referees will sort this out. It does not take away, however, from a great individual effort as he got in behind Albert Brown. Unnecessary roughness, it looks like, called against Toronto. So this during the run, so the play will count, and you cannot throw this ball any better. Look at Albert Brown over his fingertips. Pinball catches it with one hand, stays in bounds, and when you're backed up on your own goal line, that's an easy way to get it out of there in a hurry.
There's the pinball.
Well, he's exciting, and of course the unnecessary roughness will come back from 15 yards, but nevertheless, what a contribution he makes game after game to this team.
Yeah, it'll come back. A net 54-yard gain sets the Argos up right at midfield. Mako to the 50. It's a gain of 5 for Mako.
Well, you saw Pinball's numbers receiving on that graphic a play ago, 9 catches, but that 10th one now is going to bump his average up a few points.
Masadi to the near side. Kerrigan looks to throw on 2nd and 5. Bob Gordon makes the catch for 7 yards and a Toronto first down.
That was interesting in our conversations with Bob Obilovich yesterday. He said, I've made so many changes. I'm as interested as you guys to see how my team plays, because it's tough to do it overnight. And, you know, he came in last year, had an idea of what kind of players he wanted, and he's good at it. He did a good job in BC a few years ago, bringing in some quality young people to fit in with the veterans.
His team has looked good so far, but they haven't been able to finish. First down, Kerrigan. Masadi, smooth run over the middle, and he's gone, folks. Paul Masadi. It was only a matter of time. 43 yards for the touchdown by Kerrigan to Paul Masadi.
Paul Masadi made it look pretty easy, didn't he, John? As he just loped through a pretty soft zone coverage by the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and you'll see a little half roll by Kerrigan. He's doing that more this year, rolling out of the pocket. And there goes Masadi. Actually, a missed assignment. Albert Brown got caught up somewhere, and nobody is close to Paul Masadi as he wanders in for the touchdown.
Mike Kerrigan celebrating his 5th touchdown toss of the season as the Argos finally have a major to show for 4 impressive drives at Taylor Field. 11-1, Toronto leads Saskatchewan. This is CFL Live from Regina. Bob Obilovich and the Argos celebrating a rather impressive drive. It went 109 yards and finished like this, Lee.
Well, it became pretty easy for Paul Masadi. He's right here, and you're going to see Bobby Gordon goes all the way down the field and clears out, and Masadi's going to end up in here, but the key is Glenn Suter with the half roll gets caught up in here. Let it go. And you're going to see Kerrigan, and this is what he sees. He sees Suter come up and cheat up, trying to protect on the hook pattern, and boom, it's over the top. Stop it right there. Hey, here's Albert Brown over here. Here's Masadi. They make it pretty easy.
Yeah, long gone, 43-yard touchdown.
Couple of keys, though. Missed assignment by Albert Brown, and then when Glenn Suter leaves the middle, that's when Kerrigan says, that's where I'm going to go.
3rd catch of the night, 94 yards in total for Paul Masadi. And that's his first touchdown of the season.
Meantime, an injury to report. Official Al McColeman has left the game with an injury, so they'll continue a man short, just like soccer.
But they don't add time to the clock, do they?
No, and there's no yellow cards for this.
I couldn't resist.
10:17 to play till halftime. Here's the Argo kickout. It's short. Taking it to 45. Mako. He's to the 55.
He's rolling right down the line and going there for
4 plays to cover 109 yards. Masadi, the 43-yard reception.
Well, I think it's time for Saskatchewan Roughriders to get a wake-up call here. They've had an awfully sluggish first half, and the Toronto Argonauts have totally dominated this game. They lead 11-1, and it's not usual for a Saskatchewan Roughrider team to be slow getting started here at Taylor Field, but Tommy Burgess with great field position. It's time to get something going.
Pitch back from Saunders back to Burgess, and Larry Thompson drew double coverage.
Pretty interesting play. They get Mike Saunders coming up here, and then he will pitch the ball back to Tommy Burgess, who lets it fly. Now, he really didn't fool anybody, because Brian McCurdy, number 16, who's in the middle right there, he plays such a deep center field that it's awfully difficult to suck him in on a play like that, and he's back and almost has a chance for the interception.
Here's Burgess. And Campbell got through. 2nd and 10. Burgess over the middle. Elgard couldn't bring it in. More heat on Tom Burgess, that time from Harding.
The Toronto Argonauts have had a pretty good plan for Ray Elgard in certain situations. They are running a linebacker with Elgard, and they're picking him up deep with a defensive back, giving him double coverage. So Tommy Burgess better realize that in a hurry. He's got to go outside to Thompson and Narcisse a little more.
Rough Riders have punted on every possession. Here's Brent Matich. Only one on the board for Saskatchewan so far. The Argos lead it by 10. More heat on Matich again. This is Mike Clemens. And he is surrounded. The ball came loose. Let's see who has it. Looks like the Rough Riders might have come up with a turnover. Had a sack and 8 tackles last week. Came over from Ottawa as part of the Austin deal.
And I don't think it was any secret that the Saskatchewan Rough Riders needed a break to get them into this ball game, and it's hard to see who causes the fumble. It might be Ray Bernard, number 95, but the ball does come loose. Ron Getz, 47, has the recovery, and a huge break for the Saskatchewan Rough Riders. They were totally asleep until that play.
Yeah, Bernard made it happen. Getz got the fumble. The Riders are 1st and goal to go at the Argo 10. Burgess has to hurry now, and it opens up. Burgess heads to the end zone. Around 1. Touchdown! The Argo defense had it well covered in the secondary, and Burgess had to take out himself a 10-yard TD.
Well, Tommy Burgess can't find anybody downfield, and he just escapes Kevin Carroll, 94 right there. And when the linebackers take that deep drop to cover, you see Calvin Tiggle, 73. He can't get over it. Tommy Burgess, who runs just well enough, capitalizes and gets the Rough Riders a touchdown after the turnover. He's excited. That was a good spike.
Yeah. Quarterbacks don't get to do that very often.
That might be the hardest ball he's thrown tonight so far.
Well, it's darn close again. 11-8. The Argos lead Saskatchewan. You're watching CFL Live from Taylor Field. Everyone was covered, so Tom Burgess improvised and found the end zone.
Well, the offensive line of the Saskatchewan Rough Riders did a great job. Here on the left side, you've got Chris Burns and Rodney Harding. Watch, he pushes him down there. Now you've got Scott Hendrickson comes out. He gets the block on Swift Birch. The nose is handled, and then Burgess has a huge lane to run through. But, I mean, this is nice offensive line blocking here. Everybody has their man. They're working hard. Now, when a receiver's not open, they have the next best thing. They have the natural lane created. Calvin Tiggle, the middle linebacker, no way he's going to get over in time. And, you know, you want to complete the pass, but the offensive line did such a good job, it results in a touchdown.
Here's the Rough Rider kickoff. Down to the 31, leading the Saskatchewan tacklers, Dave Matt Bellingham. And Gordon's return gives Toronto decent field position. Let's see if Kerrigan can get the Argos moving again.
Oh, an interesting game tonight when you look at the quarterbacks. John, Mike Kerrigan, so many years in the league, Grey Cups. Tommy Burgess, Grey Cups, and both 9 years. And the amount of games they played, a lot of experience on that field tonight, the quarterback position. And boy, does that make a difference.
First and 10 Argos from the 31. Kerrigan far side has Jeff Fairholm, and that's a big first down, Toronto. Ruffin caught up. Fairholm is out near midfield.
That's a good matchup, Fairholm against the rookie Ruffin. And when you're to the wide side of the field as an inside halfback, I think you have to really work on your position to try to not allow Fairholm to get to the outside so easily. That's pretty easy pass completion for Mike Kerrigan to make. And one thing a veteran like Glenn Suter may say to him in the huddle is take that outside shoulder away a little more when you've got that much field to work with.
23 yards for Fairholm on the previous catch. First down Argos at the 54. Namako, number 21. Good run for George Namako. He is inside the 40 down to about the 36 and forced out by Joseph for a 20-yard gain.
And this is what the rollout has done for Mike Kerrigan. You know, he did that on the touchdown to Mazzotti, but this time he hands off back to George Namako through here, and the Rough Rider front four is thinking pass rush, and they just blow right by Namako. Ray Bernard can't get to him. That's a good-looking running play, but it's all set up by the success that Kerrigan's had on that little roll.
Another Argo first down. This time at the 36. Namako again. And this time, the running is not as easy off the right side. Sean Bradley, number 96, was waiting this time. The gain is 2.
Namako, he's been a real asset to this team. You know, he doesn't start plays behind Pinball Clements and Dwayne Ford and Kevin Smelly, but when he gets his opportunity, he's a very handy guy to have. Had a key touchdown in their win over Shreveport last week. A blocked punt, he picked it up and ran into the end zone that really got the Argos kick started and got them into their comeback win.
2nd and 8. Kerrigan won't get it away. Bobby Jurison got there first, and then he had some company. Jurison with help from Finley. And Jurison's had more than a few in his career. Well, this is Riders' all-time sack leader with 104 now.
And truly the leader on defense with enthusiasm. I talked about that at the beginning of the game. Had a lovely chat with Bobby before the game, and he was looking forward to playing against the rookie right tackle for Toronto, Joe Burgos. He said he's a typical import tackle who hasn't really refined his pass blocking skills, and I can have a good night against him, he thought.
Big charge on Lamley, but he got it away. Brown had it, lost it, and who's got it now? Penalty markers everywhere.
That was a tough punt to catch for Albert Brown. I mean, that came down like a missile. But I think the Argos may get called for no yards, and Saskatchewan may catch a break here. But that was a tough punt to catch. It only went about 10 yards, I think.
6:02 to play till halftime. 11-8 Argos so far. And we sort out this penalty mark.
No yard. Toronto, number 37, 15-yard penalty. First down.
So you're right, Liebert. The Rough Riders do catch the break.
Well, it's usually a pretty good gamble when you're a return man, when the punt is kind of shanked, is to go up and make the play, because 99% of the time you're going to get the no yards call.
The cover will overrun.
And even if you do fumble it, you'll probably retain possession, as they did. That's kicker's fault, not the coverage fault.
Riders have excellent field position to begin this drive. First down at the 45, Narcisse near side. Larry Thompson to the far side of the field. Burgess stands in and fires. And it's a first down to Dan Farthing. 15 yards. The Riders are on the move now.
John, it's been interesting to watch the defensive philosophy of the Argonauts tonight. So far, every time they've played tight man-to-man coverage, they've had success against the Saskatchewan receivers. Every time they've gone back and played a soft zone to kind of protect against the inside receivers of Saskatchewan, they've been hurt. So we'll see what they do from here on in.
Now at the Argo 50, first down, Rough Riders. Quick one over the middle. Intended that for Mike Saunders, number 32, and he's complaining. Ryan McCurdy was covering. Did he have a hold of one of Saunders' arms?
I don't know. It was close. But, you know, Bob Obilovich, interesting. He loves to have veterans, but he does not have that luxury with his Toronto defense this year. 5 absolute rookies on defense. Three more new players, and that's 8 out of 12 that were not there last year.
And some great names in that group. Calvin Tiggle and Swift Birch. 2nd and 10, Saskatchewan at the Argo 50. Burgess, Elgard, the intended receiver, and there's a marker down near the 30-yard line. Crispino might have been spotted there. Initial indication from Bud Steen. is interference, Argonauts.
Forward pass interference, Toronto number 19, deliberate infraction, first down.
And there's the confirmation. So the Rider drive continues. Penalties hurting the Argos right now.
You know, that's a tough call because Ray Elgaard initiates the contact so many times against defensive backs, and he did in that case, and yet Peter Crispino was the one who was called for.
Saskatchewan moves in another 13. First down at the 37. Swing pass. Sean Daniels turns the corner, and he's near the 30-yard line. Stopped by Mike Campbell, number 99 for the Argos. 4:18 till halftime. The Argos lead 11-8.
Well, it's really the one turnover on the fumbled punt by the Toronto Argonauts that has allowed the Saskatchewan Roughriders to get back into this game. Up until that time, we were really having a poor first half, but now they finally put something together. They got the touchdown, and now they've got another good drive going.
Narcisse to the near side. On 2nd and 4. Burgess. Elgaard. He's got it. And the touchdown. That's more what Ray Elgaard had in mind for number 707. That was number 708. One more for good measure for Ray Elgaard.
Well, that's what the fans in Taylor Field came to see tonight. He's their hero, and the hero comes through and puts the Rough Riders into the lead for the first time this evening.
Gotta love the way this guy plays the game, Ray Elgaard. The Riders used a couple of penalties, but marched impressively, and Elgaard has the touchdown. Saskatchewan has the lead.
And what he is so good at is getting a running start to the line of scrimmage. Here he is here, but he gets those few steps before the ball is snapped. Now here's Crispino. He's going to work him in there and then right back to the corner. And really, I think it's that running start that he's closed the cushion already. And now the swim technique back to the corner. Perfectly thrown ball by Tom Burgess. And the young rookie, Keita Crispino, gets a rude awakening to the CFL and the all-time leading receiver, what kind of moves he has. That's a good throw by Burgess. But you know, coaches and people around the league have complained for years that Elgaard's always offside. When they stop the game field, just as the ball is snapped, more times than not, he is exactly at the line of scrimmage in perfect position, and he's going full tilt. It's a great technique.
It's a matter of timing, and he's a great athlete.
Well, he has that swim technique, too. I mean, that's what defensive linemen use to get past the offensive linemen in their pass rush, but he's been able to incorporate that into his pass route techniques, and you saw the result of it right there. He blew by Crispino.
The Rough Riders lead the Argos 15-11. And here's Gordon on the return for Toronto. Does a good job. Ball comes loose near the 40. And the tackle was made by Getz. Who's got the ball? The indication is the Argos got it back.
Well, I think it's worth one more look. Look at that pretty touchdown reception by Ray Elgaard. Good time to throw for Tom Burgess. The blitz is picked up. And Ray Elgaard in behind the rookie. And, well, I mean, that was a great pattern, but you have to marvel at the accuracy of Tom Burgess. That was absolutely on the money. After a slow start, they've got the lead.
Elgaard's first touchdown of this season is 708th career reception. Kerrigan. And he fired that one into the dirt. Jeff Fairholm, the former Rough Rider, and Ray's former running mates in Saskatchewan, couldn't catch up to that one. Elgaard has the Rough Riders in the lead after a slow start. 3 minutes to go till the half at Taylor Field. Ray Elgaard has moved to the top of another CFL receiving list tonight. 11,431 yards was a record he established last year. 707 receptions is the record he set tonight. And he has 70 career touchdowns. Brian Kelly is hanging on to that mark at 97.
All right, Mr. Cole, Sanyo Audio Warehouse in Guthrie,
Burgess and Ellegaard watch now as the Argos face 2nd and 10 with 2:57 to go till halftime. Kerrigan shotgun. And on the move rights, Jeff Fairholm makes a big catch for the Argos in front of Glenn Suter out near the 50. Fairholm has been impressive in an Argo uniform, a little something to prove in his old ballpark at Taylor Field. There's the Saskatchewan scoring drive, 65 yards in 5 plays, and Ellegaard finished it up.
You know, you mentioned Fairholm coming back to his old ballpark, and after this play I want to touch on that because I went through the same thing, and it really is a different feeling to come back to Taylor Field.
Kerrigan, Fairholm again, and Aaron Ruffin, 33, made the stop. So when you went to Hamilton and then you came back to Taylor Field as a trader, what did it feel like?
Well, it really felt funny, and Jeff Fairholm said the same thing to me yesterday. He said, you know, I've never been in the visitors' locker room here. I got off the bus yesterday, and I almost went to the wrong room. And I really can relate to that because I felt very funny coming back here because it's such a friendly stadium, and it's like no other stadium in the league. And maybe if you came back to Sky Dome and played against your old team, it might be different. But this place, I know as a former guy that did it, it's an eerie kind of feeling.
2nd down, less than a yard to go, Argos. Wayne Ford, number 34, has the first down, and Kerrigan continues this drive. The Argos have been able to move the ball. They have missed on a couple of opportunities to have more points on the board than the 11 they have at this point.
And you talk about Mike Kerrigan, it's been a while since I've seen him look this comfortable at quarterback. He seems to be very calm and collected, knows exactly what he wants to do, and he's operating this offense at a great high efficiency.
1st and 10, Kerrigan swings one out to the pinball, Mike Clemens, away from the first tackler, and he lost a little ground after that. Number 21, Dale Joseph, finally put the stop on the pinball, Mike Clemens. The gain is less than a yard.
Well, the story of this game's been quite interesting. It was all Toronto early, and then the Rough Riders came storming back, and those are the numbers for Tommy Burgess, and of course, Ray Ellegaard well documented what he did tonight.
Storyline brought to you by Dodge Trucks, reinventing the truck. Second and almost 10, Kerrigan looks to the shotgun. On target, Fairholm is short of the first down. Albert Brown moved up to make the tackle on Jeff Fairholm. Masadi, actually, number 88.
And you kind of have to question the call by Mike Kerrigan. You know, he's only got Mazzotti going down on a 6-yard hitch, and you need almost 10 yards to pick up the first down. You're only hoping that he can break a tackle to get it. He couldn't. Albert Brown is one of the better tackling corners in the league, and you know, you only get so many chances when you get down in the other team's territory, and you might want to use a bit of a different play than that one.
A 38-yard drive for Wayne Lamley. And that one is good. So the Argos add 3 to their total. And it's a 1-point game. Saskatchewan in the lead at 15-14.
You know, John Bobovilovich had a big decision to make at the beginning of the year. What was he going to do with his kickers and kicking game? And he had Hank Olisic, he had Lance Chomick, and he had a young guy named Wayne Lamley who has tremendous potential, a tremendously strong leg. And, you know, Bobovilovich had to wrestle with that decision. Do I go with the young guy and cut the veterans? And that's exactly what he did. And, you know, at some point in time in a young guy's career, you have to go with him. You have to show confidence in him and hope that down the road it pays dividends. And, you know, I think it was a pretty good choice by Bobovilovich. Lamley has lots of potential.
A minute 13 till halftime. This is Wallace, Darrell Wallace for the Rough Riders. Got across the 45. And a big first down, Saskatchewan near midfield with 1:07 to go. Mike Campbell, number 99, finally put the stop on Darrell Wallace.
Yeah, Saskatchewan has 2 imports that they can use in their backfield tonight, Mike Saunders and Darrell Wallace.
And here's Burgess, first down. And Farthing having a good night.
And once again, John, the only time Toronto's been hurt is when they play that soft zone coverage, and the inside receivers of Saskatchewan have picked it apart.
Yeah, they're ruling that no catch leap. Ray Yock is steamed down there on the Rough Riders sideline. So it'll be 2nd and 10 with 59 seconds till the half. No catch, Dan Farthing. Rough Riders at the 48. Here comes the heat. And Wallace can't escape. Swift Birch was right there. A loss of 1 and a 3rd down punting situation, Saskatchewan.
Al McCollman's out there again for the officials. He's the guy that wiped out that Dan Farthing catch, and the crowd's all over him. They want him back in the locker room.
Now. Don't be too mean now. Manage on 3rd down, Saskatchewan. Argos have called a timeout here. With 52 seconds till the half.
Yeah, I think they're trying to put a couple of seconds back on that clock. Toronto had called the timeout, and I'm sure that's what Bud Steen's going over. Obi was yelling from the sidelines, hey, we call that timeout. You got to stop it right away. Get that hometown guy with his finger on the trigger a little quicker.
Not at Taylor Field. That's never happened, has it?
That's a good call to give his offense a few more seconds when they do get the ball.
Mike Clemens waits for a bouncing ball. He's surrounded quickly. There's a penalty marker back near the line of scrimmage. And there's another one down at the other end.
And by a bunch of riders.
41 seconds unofficially on the clock. A 49-yard punt, a 3-yard return. And as the coaches look on.
Yeah, Obi's looking for his 100th win tonight. That would put him in very select company.
Yeah, Ray Yock is also on that leaderboard there. A very distinguished group of coaches. Obilovich can join with a win here tonight. The 100 win club in CFL. There's another penalty flag thrown down there. Birch was called for the Argos for holding. And now the Argos take another couple of yards. And it's back to the 7-yard line. Wayne Ford, and he is across the 10 to about the 12. That's pinball, number 31.
Wow, what the Argonauts are trying to do is just run this clock out. This is not an area of the field where you want to take any chances right before the half. The game is still close, so we'll let it wind down and get into the locker room. There they can run one more play and get down to the 20 and kill the clock on 3rd down.
On the 14.
This is the pinball. Mike Clemens trying to find a little bit of a seam, but there was nothing there.
That's a pretty good run by pinball because, you know, if he doesn't make the first down, of course, Saskatchewan will call their timeout and force Toronto to punt. But, boy, he's so elusive with the feet. Watch the feet. The feet never stop. There they go. Again, he's driving. But that's why he is so successful. The feet never stop moving, and he picks up a pretty nifty first down.
This should be the last play of the opening half. Burgess says enough is enough. We'll regroup and try and rebound. Argos down by a point. Toronto moved the football effectively but couldn't get to the end zone. Except on one occasion. All in all, an interesting evening on Ray Elgard night at Taylor Field, Regina. Saskatchewan in the lead by a point. It's halftime.
And the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
You can almost see Neil Armstrong's footprints. And inside, it's Saskatchewan leading Toronto 15-14 at the half at Taylor Field. Well, an entertaining first half here in Regina. Of course, the fans came to see two things. One, they wanted to see their team win, but of course, they came to see Ray Elgaard break Rocky DiPietro's record for most career receptions. And here it comes. It took a while, but Elgaard finally got open. He won't be pleased about the second half of this as the ball came loose after the catch. Nonetheless, this is career catch number 707 for Ray Elgaard, now the all-time CFL leader. He later caught a touchdown to make up perhaps for the earlier mistake. Now it's 708 to 706 for Rocky DiPietro, and Ray Elgaard congratulated by the former CFL record holder. Well, Ray Elgaard has spent a lot of time in this league perfecting his craft, and as he's done that, he's taken time to pass it on to others. One of the guys who really prospered alongside Ray Elgaard was Toronto's Jeff Fairholm.
Learned a lot of things. Learned how to get open. Basically, I learned how to get open in the CFL and how to run routes, how to set up DBs, and how to use the CFL field to our advantage. The wideness of it and the length of it, and he was just the way that the offense was designed and learning how to understand the offense instead of just being told where to go.
Another CFL record was set last night at the stadium at BC Place as the Lions were home and to the Hamilton Ticats, and the record set by this man, Lou Pasaglia, who breaks Ron Lancaster's record for most career games played. It was a tight contest until overtime, and then the Lions blew it open in the extra frame. Kent Austin to Darren Flutie, and the Lions really zipped them in overtime, winning it by a final score of 42 to 25. In overtime, the Lions scored 17 points. 3 games tomorrow in the CFL. Shreveport is at Baltimore, still looking for a first victory. Winnipeg and Calgary look for their second victories of the year, and Sacramento takes on the team that most think will be its arch rival. I can tell you this, the people in Regina aren't thrilled about Las Vegas, not to mention the anthem fiasco last week. There was a complaint filed by the Rough Riders about a couple of incidents on the sidelines. The sidelines very close to the field level seats at the stadium in Las Vegas, and the Rider players felt they were distracted by people on horseback and, yes, even by cheerleaders. And the Riders have filed what we think is the first official cheerleader protest in Canadian Football League history. No protesting what's gone on so far for the Riders tonight, leading by 1 after 30 minutes. Back with more on our halftime report in just a moment.
It's close at the half with the Rough Riders hanging on to a 1-point lead on the Toronto Argonauts. Lots of excitement in the opening half at Taylor Field. The Argos were able to move the football, but they couldn't find the end zone for quite some time.
Well, they had a great first half. 371 yards of total offense in one half of football is tremendous. And it was almost like 2 halves in one. Toronto got off to a great start with this touchdown pass to Paul Mazzotti. Coverage breakdown by the Saskatchewan Roughriders secondary, and a pretty easy trip into the end zone for him. 4 catches for 100 yards in one half of play. They're glad to have him back in the lineup.
That was a 43-yarder there. The Rough Riders slow starting, but then finally got things going and finished off in the end zone here on Elgaard's 70th career touchdown.
Yeah, guess who? It seems kind of fitting that on a night when he becomes the all-time pass reception leader, that he should also get a touchdown. He beats the youngcomer Keita Crespina, and he's into the end zone with the first touchdown for Saskatchewan tonight, and that was the one that really got them back into this ball game. But interesting half. Toronto strong early, Saskatchewan strong late, and it sets us up for a pretty good second half, I think.
Yeah, I think it does, and Ray Elgaard has the record out of the way. We'll look forward to a great second half at Taylor Field. The Riders lead it by 1 at 15-14. Halftime numbers on the board favoring the Argos in a lot of categories. 371 net yards compared to 130 for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. time of possession also favoring the Argos, but on the scoreboard, just one little point favoring Saskatchewan.
Yeah, John, I think if you just only looked at these statistics and asked someone to tell you the score of this game, they'd say, well, I think Toronto's up by at least 10, but that just has not been the case. Mike Kerrigan, however, a very nice half for him.
And Tom Burgess, a late start, but he finally rallied the Rough Riders and then found Elgard for the only touchdown for Saskatchewan.
But I think for Toronto, going back to those statistics, no turnovers committed by the Rough Riders in that half, but 2 by the Argonauts, and the one fumble on the punt return by Mike Clements that Saskatchewan recovered really got them back in this game. They were sound asleep up until that point in the second quarter, and one little turnover has changed this game around so far.
Lamely rolled that along to Larry Thompson, and he has a nice run. Rough Riders will have the win here in the third quarter. And Tom Burgess trots out onto the field. Burgess passed for one and ran for one himself to account for the Saskatchewan scoring so far. 10 of 16 for 116 yards.
Pretty close in numbers. Total yardage favors Mike Kerrigan, but the percentage in the one touchdown, both quarterbacks having a very similar evening.
Injured Rough Rider is Dale Joseph, number 21. Shaken up on the opening play of the second half.
Well, this is a big injury for the Saskatchewan Rough Riders because Dale Joseph is their nickel back, and standing on the Toronto sideline, the first person to notice that was Paul Massotti, and you can bet that when the Argos do get the ball, they'll keep a close eye on what the nickel defense looks like for Saskatchewan.
Yeah, they've been using Dale Joseph quite a bit tonight, mixing up their coverage as they bring him in rather and take a linebacker out. And you know, it's a nice scheme, and I think you're absolutely right. If he can't continue it, it certainly takes away from their defensive package for the night.
Joseph is up, and he may well be back.
Yeah, it looks like it. Ivan Gutfrein, the longtime trainer of the Saskatchewan Rough Riders, getting him ready. You see it right at the bottom of your screen. Looks like he maybe just took knee on knee right there. However, when you leave the field like that, I suspect you will return.
Saskatchewan first down at the Rough Rider 48. Burgess sprints quickly to his left and now reverses. Got back to the line and maybe a yard after that. Kevin Carroll, number 94, corralled the Saskatchewan quarterback.
Interesting formation for the Rough Riders to begin the second half. All the receivers in the backfield trying to confuse the Toronto secondary, but would have nothing to do with it. And Toronto got actually good pressure from Rodney Harding.
There was no gain on the play, 2nd and 10. Riders have Narcisse to the near side. Larry Thompson, far side of the field. Burgess swings it out. Sean Daniels, number 38, stopped well short of a first down.
Interesting concept on defense for Toronto. They have Mike Campbell, who's their rush end, number 99. On this occasion, on 2nd and long, they drop him off as a linebacker to give Tom Burgess a bit of a different look, and that forced Burgess to go underneath the coverage, and Campbell was easily there to make the play. That's a new look for them. He's usually the rush end, but tonight they've dropped him off about 3 times now.
Brent Matich with Mike Pinball Clemens standing back near his 15. Another knuckler. Pinball takes it on one bounce. And he bounced away from a couple of guys, including Brooks Finley. But he's finally dropped inside the 10 and lost a little yardage there. Looks like Joseph is okay as he heads back into the ball game, number 21.
Not too many guys around the league can do this on punt returns. That's why he is called Pinball right here. Bouncing, gets away from a couple of guys, breaks a tackle. There he goes. You have to be impressed with the heart that he plays this game with. Fearless for a small guy. You know, he's 5'6", about 165 pounds, and plays like a 200-pounder.
Argos first down at the 10. And Clemens gets the call, trying the right side. Ron Getz and Bobby Jurison were there.
And you think of Jurison strictly as a pass rusher, but he plays the run equally as well. He keeps that outside leverage and just will not allow Clemens to get to the outside. He gets some help from his inside people, Gary Lewis and Sean Brantley, but Bobby Jurison can do it to you in a number of different fashions.
It'll be 2nd and 8. Kerrigan chooses the shotgun and fires quickly. Man open far side. Jeff Fairholm has a first down for the Argos. Aaron Ruffin covering number 33. Nifty little 10 yards for Fairholm.
Yeah, it's been a tough night for Aaron Ruffin, 33. He is against one of the best that's ever played on the inside. Now it's his own coverage. This is not man-to-man. It's not his man, but nevertheless, he is the first one there. And Jeff Fairholm has enjoyed a pretty good night working on the young rookie.
4 for 64 for Fairholm. Big first down for the Argos there. Now out at the Toronto 24. Out of the cover once more. Dwayne Ford, number 34. 5. And ran into the Rough Rider linebacker, number 47, Ron Getz.
You know, Bob Obilovich talked yesterday that Kerrigan and Jeff Fairholm really hadn't been able to hook up yet and get used to each other, and I have a bit of a theory on that. You know, Fairholm's had hamstring problems throughout his whole career, and I really doubt whether he runs 100% in practice, probably about 90, but once you get into the game, then the adrenaline goes and you go full tilt, and I think it might be just a little different look for Mike Kerrigan game to practice.
That's a good point. On 2nd and 5, Kerrigan had Gordon, and he couldn't hang on. Ran smack dab into number 95, Ray Bernard.
And don't think Bobby Gordon didn't know that number 95 was in there waiting for him. In a few years, Ray Bernard has developed a real reputation as an absolute headhunter and hard hitter in the middle. And as Bobby Gordon caught that ball across the middle, he lost his interest in a hurry.
Only the second punt for Wayne Lamely, coming in averaging 41.5, but that has dropped a little bit with that 13-yarder earlier. Across the 20 to get this one away. Bouncing to Albert Brown, and there was nowhere to run, so Brown stepped out near midfield. The Riders have great field position. When Burgess leads them onto the field in a moment, it's Saskatchewan by 1 at Taylor Field.
The final 3 winners.
Vince Lombardi said winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. Knute Rockne said win one from the Gipper. So what did Bob Obilovich tell his team before the season? Don't be a squirrel. Yeah, you heard me right. Don't be a squirrel. We asked the Argo coach exactly what a squirrel is.
He's a guy that runs around gathering nuts and isn't sure what's going on at times. So that's one of my pet little idiosyncrasies when I'm trying to chastise a player for not doing his job. And I think a few people have picked up on that in recent weeks. So it's just a nice way of telling the player to smarten up.
Don't be a squirrel.
Well, yeah, I could tell you, if that's the worst thing that he ever calls you, that's not too bad. I mean, I had Frank Kush, and you couldn't print half the things he would call you, so if being a squirrel is as bad as it gets, it's not so bad, I guess.
Well, he's got this guy, Swift Birch. And he's a big guy.
Are you making an analogy there? Anyway, once again, Tom Burgess, it seems since the end of the first quarter, his offense has always had terrific field position to start their drives.
Wallace has maybe a yard. He lost one, actually.
There's Swift Birch, 6'4", 265. He's got some pretty good speed for a big man, a little under 4'9", and this is his first game. He's one of 3 Temple Owls to be on this Toronto team. Teammate Nikita Crespina.
Yeah, it sounds like a forest out there. Obi's talking about squirrels. There's Temple Owls all over the field, and then you got Swift Birch play on the left side. Burgess on 2nd and 11. And Farthing makes the catch for a key Saskatchewan first down.
Yeah, at 63, Scott Hendrickson's going to get called for unnecessary roughness. He took a shot at somebody down by the tackle on Farthing, so the catch will stand, but the penalty will bring it back. Once again, though, Dan Farthing totally unharassed over the middle and just sits in that open area until Burgess can find him.
Foul, unnecessary roughness, number 63, Saskatchewan, after the ball was dead. First down, 15 yards back from the point, ball dead.
So the Riders will get the first down.
You know, penalties have been a problem for Ray Yock. 28 penalties coming into this game, and tonight they've had a bunch. You know, they're giving up about 101 yards a game through penalties, and boy, that makes it tough to win some games. And you see right there, that was a really silly penalty to take.
It is a Saskatchewan first down at the 51. Riders leading by 1. Burgess. Farthing again, and he's very close to the first bound marker. 6th catch of the night for Farthing. He's about 84 yards in receiving. 84 on the nose.
Rodney Harding, the 10-year veteran of the Toronto Argonauts, trying to get some pressure. They haven't had a great deal from the front four tonight, and one of the reasons why is Scott Hendrickson doing a terrific job on Rodney Harding, the all-time Argo sack leader with 76 coming into tonight's game. 150 games he's played. Oklahoma State.
It is a first down for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Both teams playing with a lot of enthusiasm. That was one of the things the coaches were both worried about, with the newness of their team and the number of new faces they have in the rosters.
Well, I've always found when you have a lot of new players, you usually have a lot of enthusiasm because that's the easiest way for them to play.
Saunders tries the right side and slips through neatly. Here's Mike Saunders, one-on-one with Pleasant. Pleasant slowed him down. And that was enough for the rest of the Argos to get up and make the tackle. Don Moen finally put the stop on Mike Saunders after a great run.
Second time they've used this formation. Look at all the blocking power coming for Mike Saunders right around the corner, and the Argonauts just don't get out and get that outside leverage that they need, and that's about 4 blockers coming directly out there. And the Argonauts just react pretty well. It's just some darn good blocks in front of Saunders.
27 yards for Saunders. First down, Saskatchewan, now at the Argo 22. This has been a good drive. Burgess with Wallace coming out of the backfield. Better than halfway to a first down at the 15. Thomas made the stop. The gain is 6 yards.
Darrell Wallace played 3 games with the Rough Riders last year and spent some time with the Calgary Stampeders. They have 2 import backs tonight in Saunders and Darrell Wallace. And one of the reasons why is they wanted to get these 2 guys in the backfield together and put a ton of pressure on that Toronto defense with both backs coming out in pass patterns and trying to confuse the coverage. Well, they want to get a mismatch with maybe a Donnie Moen or Tiggle against a Darrell Wallace.
2nd and 4, Saskatchewan. Burgess looks to the end zone. Elgard was the intended receiver, and 2 flags are down. Kita Crispina was covering on Ray Elgard. He was beaten earlier by Elgard. Guess what the penalty is?
Well, I don't think there's any question. As Elgard moves to the inside, you're going to see the arm come and make contact. There's holding right there. And then again, another shot as the ball is in the air. So you have a couple of ways you can call that one. Of course, that sets it up on the 1-yard line now. So the Saskatchewan Roughriders, who began this drive with super field position, have methodically worked it down the field and now aided by a penalty.
3 cracks at it for the Roughriders from the 1-yard line. Burgess himself. And he's got the touchdown. There's the indication. 2 touchdowns in the game for Tom Burgess. That one from a yard away. Previously, he dashed in from 10.
Over the big left side of his offensive line, following Chris Burns and Scott Hendrickson, and Tommy Burgess, as John mentioned, with his 2nd of the night, caps off a nice-looking drive. couple of hooks over the middle to Farthing, a swing pass to Wallace, and a penalty later.
There they are.
Yes.
Tom Burgess has added to the Rough Rider lead. It is 22-14 at Taylor Field, Regina. This is CFL Live. Burgess and Elgard, pretty good combination tonight. Burgess has engineered touchdowns on 3 of his last 4 possessions.
You get a great, there it is, 7 plays, 59 yards, and you get a good look at what a formation can do to a defense for Tom Burgess. They line up 4 guys in the backfield here, and as they all move this way, watch, here's McCready, here's Charlie Farms. They have to honor that and go that way, and then there's nobody in the gap to handle Tommy Burgess as he goes into the end zone for the touchdown. It's a very subtle little thing. Very subtle little thing, but they create the hole right there, and there goes Burgess. That's what a formation can do to a defense.
And no return on the kickoff. Sola had nowhere to go. So with 7:33 to go, 3rd quarter, the Argos try and get back into this one. 22-14, Saskatchewan in the lead.
Well, they had an 11-1 lead at one time, did the Toronto Argonauts, and have slowly seen this game slip away, and the tide turned totally in Saskatchewan's favor. So for Mike Kerrigan, it's only halfway through the 3rd quarter, but you really don't want to let this game get out of reach. Toronto is not a huge catch-up style of offense, and you know, they're down by 8 points now, and I think they'd like to answer with some points of their own.
First down, 35-yard line. Kerrigan, good fake, buys a little time, and had that one knocked away. Fairholm was the intended receiver. Drawhorn was covering, and there's a little orange nylon around the 45.
You know, Anthony Drawhorn is a tremendous defensive back at the knockdown, and you know, he read that play so quickly. He was there in such good time that he couldn't help but create the contact.
Forward pass interference, number 70 Saskatchewan, non-deliberate infraction, 10 yards
because he did get,
first
it
down.
looked like he might have got the hand on the ball, but he certainly made contact before it got there. That's a big trade. You know, one of the people, they made that big trade with Ottawa this year. Of course, Anthony Drawhorn, one of the players to come over along with Ron Getz, but he is a good, solid defensive back and is going to help this secondary a bunch.
Kerrigan gets a desired result in a first down. Now at the 45. 3 receivers near side, and Kerrigan looks this way. And it intercepted. Brantley is gone to the end zone. Markers are everywhere. He's in the end zone. A 40-yard interception return for Sean Brantley. Will a touchdown stand?
Holding, Saskatchewan number 79 on the run back. First down, Saskatchewan.
Interception is fine. Touchdown. Doesn't go up on the board.
Boy, and it's everything you teach a lineman. Gary Lewis, 79, can't get to Kerrigan, but he gets his hands up, tips the ball, and Sean Brantley, he looks like a fullback as he's going down the field, and only Titus Dixon can make the play, but it's the hands up of Gary Lewis. That is tremendous defensive technique. Every player is told to do that. Some don't seem to want to, but Gary Lewis did. They get an interception.
Yeah, it was hardly fair asking Dixon to try and run down Sean Brantley. The Rough Riders are first down at the Argo 30. Burgess, the home run toss to Narcisse. It's there. The Riders score quickly. A 30-yard touchdown to Don Narcisse.
And Don Narcisse made a real cagey play here. When the ball was in the air, he slowed down just a little bit to slow Eddie Thomas down. And then at the last second, he accelerates to make the catch because Thomas has no idea where the ball is. But if he'd kept running full speed, he would have taken Thomas into the ball too. But he slowed down just a touch and at the last second with his great speed, he accelerated, and that is an unbelievable play. I mean, you have confidence in your own abilities when you can do something like that. Wow, did they take advantage of the turnover in a hurry?
One play. Short drive. The Riders have opened up a big lead on the Argos now. It's 29-14 Saskatchewan with 6:05 to go, third quarter. Don Narcisse has his third touchdown of the season, and the Rough Riders have opened up a rather comfortable lead on the Argos.
And John, it was all set up by a tremendously heads-up play by number 79, Gary Lewis. As he comes in here, Kerrigan goes back to throw. The ball is tipped, and who comes but Sean Brantley right there. And that was the play, of course, that created the turnover. The one play later, Don Narcisse on the long bomb. And all of a sudden, in 2 plays, the Saskatchewan Rough Riders have really put a stranglehold on the Argonauts.
See what the Argos can do on this return. Not much out near the 35-yard line. Isola was the returner. Gary Lewis should be mentioned as the hero of the moments after knocking down that pass.
And Greg Marshall is the new defensive line coach here in Saskatchewan, and as a coach, you must be just thrilled with one of your guys uses a technique that you tell them all the time to use, and he does it, and it results in a really good play.
I should really say that Lewis knocked up that pass, put it up in the air, so that Bradley could pick off the interception. Kerrigan in a big hole now. To the far side, and Kerrigan underthrew his receiver Titus Dixon over there. Coverage by Benson Donaldson. Needs to rally the troops.
That's a big number for Mike Kerrigan, 300 yards, and we're not even through the third quarter yet.
29-14 on the scoreboard. The Argos had a 10-point lead at one stage. The Riders, after a slow start, have been impressive in the third quarter and late in the second. Kerrigan is on target. First down. Bob Gordon, number 84. Stopped by Aaron Ruffin. The gain is 16.
And every series becomes critical now for the Toronto Argonauts to fight their way back into this game, and every throw and every catch also so critical, and a nice job by Bobby Gordon there to make a key catch to keep this drive going.
Yeah, points here would be a big bonus for the Argos.
Well, they have to stop the bleeding, John, to keep their defense off the field for a while.
Now at the 52, first and 10. Little drop play. Clemens out across midfield. He's short of the first down.
Stop by Dale Joseph of the Riders.
Dale Joseph, number 21, put the stop on Clemens.
Now, I've been impressed with Mike Kerrigan, how he's mixed up his offense tonight. He's run the draws well. He's run the rollout with the delays. He's thrown over the middle. He's thrown long, and he's really put a nice offensive arsenal on display tonight for the Saskatchewan Rough Rider defense to try and keep them off balance.
2nd and 4 Argos across midfield into Saskatchewan territory. Argos need a big play. Sideline toss, Mazzotti. Tight coverage by Albert Brown. Mazzotti went after it. Gave it a great effort.
The tough thing about Paul Mazzotti is he's not a blazer out there at wide receiver, and Albert Brown is. So when you try and go over the top in that bump and run coverage, more often than not, Bob Abilovich and his offense is hoping that Mazzotti can make the great catch. He couldn't get up over the top of Albert Brown and haul it in, but, you know, as far as speed goes in bump and run, I don't think Mazzotti can get past him.
Lamely stands in on third down. Argos will try and pin the Rough Riders deep.
You know, that's not a knock on Paul Mazzotti. I mean, he's just not a blinder, and when it's bump and run, you might have to forget about trying to go over the top of it.
It's not deep. Bouncing near the 25. Brown falls on it. He's pinned immediately. Antonio Bilovich leading the Argo tacklers. He wears number 39. Yes, he is the nephew of Bob, playing his second game. for the Argos.
And John, usually the measure of a good offensive team is how well do they capitalize on turnovers. Well, tonight, 14 points have resulted in turnovers by the Argonauts. Tom Burgess with a touchdown pass to Ray Elgard, and now to Don Narcisse. So 2 touchdown passes directly from the turnovers, and you know you're clicking on offense when you can do that.
Saskatchewan first down at the 25. Drop play to Mike Saunders. He's worked effectively out of the Rough Rider backfield and does so again here. Might be a yard short. Crespina, number 19, on the tackle here.
Great block by 57. Dan Payne on Swift Birch allows Mike Saunders to get to the outside. And, you know, Saskatchewan Roughriders for years have had a great pass protection offensive line, but these guys, they can get the job done on the running plays, too. Dan Payne with a terrific job that time.
Saunders 4 carries, 42 yards. Rough Riders second, less than a yard to go. Burgess will take advantage of the opportunity and look to throw. And there was no one open. Daniels was the closest Rough Rider to the toss. Burgess really just got rid of the ball.
We go back to the offensive line and have a look at Scott Hendrickson. It's called fan protection, where he pulls out and picks up Mike Campbell, who's coming from the outside. Is that any good?
Yeah, that's pretty good blocking, all right.
My, oh my. He put him on his rear end. That doesn't happen too often.
This is third and less than a yard to go. That I formation again, and Burgess keeps. He has the first down. There are no markers anywhere.
And that I formation works once again because you just have nobody behind the defensive front of the Argonauts that can fill the gap and make the hit on Burgess. It's a formation that Ray Yock has put in. It's been very successful on their short yardage tonight.
The rule is 36 inches. It's not a yard. You've got to call it.
Few instructions from the coach to one of the officials. First down, Rough Riders. Burgess sees it open in front of him. He's caught from behind. Mike Campbell, number 99. It looked like it was going to open up a little bit more.
Yeah, we'll see how fast he gets up, because number 73, Calvin Tiggle, the middle linebacker, put a tremendous hit on Burgess as he was going down.
The perils of being a quarterback.
Well, we talked about this the other night, John. When the quarterback runs, if he slides feet first, you can't hit him. But if he's going head first, he's fair game. And as Mike Campbell grabs a hold here, watch 73 Calvin Tiggle come right in there. The back is exposed, and he buries the shoulder right in there.
Warren Jones will warm up on the sidelines for Tom Burgess. He'll be out for at least a play, and likely longer. Burgess to his knees now. Campbell slowed Burgess down. Number 99, Mike Campbell. And Jones talks with Ray Yock. The West Division is going to be a lot of fun. The Lions are out in front with a solid effort again last night. 3-0. Vegas right behind at 2-0. The Riders are going to be a factor. You know, the Eskimos are going to be a factor.
Well, what's so interesting about the West is nobody is going to run away and hide with that division. So I think with that kind of parity, you're always going to get help from another team to keep you in the race. It's very interesting.
And it's a good bet that Sacramento will be better, and you know that the Calgary Stampeders will be contending for top spot.
How about BC 3-0 with Dave Ritchie off to a great start.
Gain was 3. This is 2nd and 7 as Jones hands off to Saunders. And he's outside, and a nice run again by Saunders. Stop made by Tommy Henry, number 6. Tom Burgess clearing the cobwebs.
Good looking draw to Mike Saunders right here. Here's the lane that opens up, and then Calvin Tiggle, the middle linebacker, just can't get over quickly enough. You know, he's pretty good tackle to tackle, but we wondered about his speed to the outside and just couldn't get there and make the play on Saunders.
32 seconds left in the third quarter. The Riders lead it 29-14. Jones out of the shotgun. The big charge was on. He barely got it away. Saunders was the intended receiver, but there was heavy smoke on Jones.
And the Argonauts are taking a few more chances on defense right now as they try and put a little pressure on Warren Jones since he's come into the ball game. How about Brian McCurdy? The guard tackle area opens up. He's coming on the blitz, and boy, right in the face of Warren Jones. He knows he's got to get rid of it in a hurry, and actually does a pretty good job to sidestep and get away from it. But I think Toronto's going to have to do that more and more to try and get back into this game.
2nd and 10. Warren Jones at quarterback for Saskatchewan, and this play is whistled down. It would appear to be a time count violation against the Saskatchewan backup quarterback. Burgess on the sidelines on the bench.
Time count violation. Saskatchewan, number 6, 2nd down repeated.
Warren Jones, 6th year in the CFL, 3 with the Edmonton Eskimos, and now going into his 3rd with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. And Tom Burgess on the sideline trying to collect his thoughts from a pretty good shot that he took in the lower kidney area. Warren Jones only 279 attempts throughout his career in 68 games that he has played. Heck of a nice guy, though, and you always hope for the good guys to do well.
Standing in, and he did well there. Dan Farthing makes the catch, and it's a race down to the 20-yard line. Henry finally got over to make the tackle. Farthing has had a whale of a night, another 38 yards to his total. And that is the end of quarter number 3. Some happy times at Taylor Field with the Rough Riders in front, 29-14.
Our game is Canada's game. More life, more drama, more real TV. Canada's game is the CFL live on TSN.
Double Shot Weekend is coming your way. Friday, the Vegas Posse take on the Argos. Saturday, the Western Rough Riders take on the Gold Miners. Real TV, TSN.
We're ready to begin the 4th quarter at Taylor Field in Regina. It's a lively spot tonight. The Rough Riders started slowly, but they have bounced back on Ray Elgard night. Yes, folks, he does have career catch number 707 and 708 plus a touchdown. The Riders march into the 4th quarter thanks to a nice catch by Dan Farthing that covered 38 yards.
Yeah, he's having a nice night, and you know, it's only a matter of time before he becomes an established star in this league because he's got the great credentials. It's just playing time now.
1st and 10, Saskatchewan at the Argo 21. Warren Jones at quarterback. Good fake to Saunders, and Jones throwing on the run. Narcisse had that one sailed just over his head.
John, I want to go back and take a look at what effect Ray Elgard really has on a defense. Here he is out here. Now, this is the pass play that Farthing caught. But as he comes downfield, Brian McCurdy, the middle safety's up there. He's going to work this way. The middle linebacker works that way. And what it does is leave a huge hole for Farthing. Now, Farthing's caught 7 balls tonight. Ray Elgard only 2. But of those 7 catches, a huge area has been opened up because they're paying so much attention to Elgard. And it's a credit to the Saskatchewan offense. They see that they're taking Elgard out of the game, so let's let the other guy have a great night.
Career night for Dan Farthing so far, 7 for 122 yards. 2nd and 10. Rough Riders at the Argo 21. Jones from the shotgun, and here comes the heat. Jones away from Campbell, and he's forced out and in amongst the cheerleaders by Carroll. There's a marker down. Gain of 2 yards. Holding against the Rough Riders. The marker was down near the line of scrimmage.
Pretty good speed by Warren Jones to get to the outside. He freezes Tiggle. And Mike Campbell chasing from the side, and you'll see going out of bounds now. That's 94, Kevin Carroll.
He just missed that cute little blonde girl there. Into the 4th quarter now, and here's how the numbers stack up through 3. Argos with a time of possession of 23:06 compared to 21:54, so The Rough Riders have cut that down substantially as we moved along.
Yeah, for 408 yards and 3 quarters of play and only have 14 points. I mean, that is frustrating, but give the Rough Riders credit. They have capitalized on their turnovers with 14 points, and that's the reason why Tom Burgess and Ray Elgard right there and enjoy a nice lead going into the fourth quarter.
The Riders are set for a field goal try. Reggie Pleasant, the injured Argonaut, helped to the sidelines. Talked about the kickers as being the difference. Well, sometimes it doesn't always work out that way. This is Ridgway's first field goal try of the night.
Well, of those 8 he's made, he's on a roll. He is 8 of his last 8 attempts.
Yeah, hitting on 80% on the season, 8 of 10. But that includes 8 straights. From 26, pretty good chance he'll be 9 for 9. You don't bet against Ridgway at that range, do you?
No, I mean, he has got such a smooth stroke, and it's from years of doing it. Wayne Lamley hopefully one day will have the same kind of stroke, but his timing is just perfect.
Meantime in BC, Lou Pasaglia is never going to retire and let Ridgway catch up. Riders having a good time at Taylor Field tonight.
Just get out and say, Coach. He was so wide, I tried to cut him. You're locked up here. Yeah, no, it wasn't like this. This guy wasn't here, and he came inside 99.
It's a simple game, really. Leaf, when you look at how it can be diagrammed that easily.
This is Pat Burrell's the offensive line coach for the Rough Riders, and they're just going over a few blocking assignments.
Hey, Mike. 40, you got the middle. Hey, Mike.
Now they've got the wave started here at Taylor Field. Ready for the Rough Rider kickoff. Saskatchewan in front, 32-14. Big comeback by the Riders. Norm Casola had nowhere to go. And this place is fired up, folks.
They're having a good time, aren't they? Of course, they always do.
They always do. It's been a wonderful night. Good crowd on hand here, over 23,000. 23,433, give or take 1 or 2. Kerrigan tries to rally the Argos, and he goes to pinball, squirting to the outside. Mike Clemens has an Argo first down. The ball squirted loose.
Well, with over 13 minutes remaining, the Argonauts really desperately need to get something going. They're trailing 32-14, and Mike Pinball Clemens on the draw. Gets a nice block up front from the center, Blaine Schmidt. Watch the move right there to get around Ray Bernard. Ray Bernard didn't stand a chance against the little jitterbug running of Mike Clemens.
11 yards to gain. And Kerrigan would like to silence this crowd at Taylor Field. Marker is down as Kerrigan goes to the far side and has Bob Gordon.
One guy who's not enjoying this evening so far is Tom Burgess, who is kind of in his own private little world right now, and for that reason, they'll keep him on the sidelines, likely till the end of the game, let Warren Jones finish it out with the Rough Riders enjoying an 18-point lead.
Toronto number 68. First down repeated.
Mike Jovanovic, the right guard of the Toronto Argonauts, gets called for tripping.
Yeah, they don't call that all that frequently.
That's tough.
10-yard infraction. No, 1st and 20 facing Kerrigan.
Sorry, John. 1st and 20 when you're struggling to get back in a ball game is so difficult.
Kerrigan moves to the shotgun. Steps up and fires. Has it picked off. Bernard can't get to the end zone. He's dragged down from behind by Dwayne Ford. An 18-yard interception return. And the Argos are in trouble deep now.
And And Ray Bernard, who's really worked hard at his game over the last few seasons to become a confident middle linebacker, comes up with the interception that may do it in this ball game. Steps in front of Bobby Gordon. Good hands makes the interception, and good pressure up front from the Saskatchewan Roughriders front four helped to cause this interception as well. Wayne Drinkwalder, number 64, with a good hit on Kerrigan. That took a little mustard off the football, and Ray Bernard gets the interception. But you talk about teamwork, the hit, the interception, it all works together. Tip ball, interception, it all works together.
Too many turnovers for the Argos. That's number 4, and Jones had a difficult time hanging on to the ball. On the snap from the shotgun. Hey, Ray. All right.
Yeah. Who are you? All right. Yes, sir. Here we are, taking it to the house.
Well, we always knew Ray Bernard could tackle from his middle linebacking spot. The only question was how well could he work on his pass coverage and be the complete middle linebacker. Well, I think he's giving you a fine example of that tonight, that he has earned a good spot in this defense for the Saskatchewan Roughriders and is playing well.
Loss of 5, that makes this 2nd and 15. A little screen pass to Saunders. He may get the first down, trying to turn the corner. Comes up a couple short. Tommy Henry over to force Saunders out. Let's see where they spot the ball. It'll be a couple to go anyway.
Well, it's a good call on 2nd and long. Here you got Mike Saunders. Now he's going to go up and just sit right in there, and you get the linemen, invite those guys up, think that they're going to get a sack, and then once the initial wave comes through, now you dump it off. Perfect timing. You got Hendrickson out in front, and boy, if you want to look at how a screen pass is set up, that was a perfect example right there. They come up a little bit short, but nevertheless, pretty good execution.
Dave Ridgway from the 30, perfect tonight. And he's 10 for his last 10.
Gosh, wow. Smooth.
The Rough Riders have stormed into the lead. Nice lid. You're watching TSN tonight. It looked so good for the Argos early in this football evening, but the Riders have stormed back 34 points in the last 6 possessions. Too many Argo turnovers, and Ray Elgard started the party off. He has 708 receptions, including 1 touchdown. And on the scoreboard, it's 35-14 when the Argos had a 10-point lead. 11:05 to go, 4th quarter. Dixon.
Well, you look at Dave Ridgway, and I made the comment tonight at how smooth his stroke is. He's 2 for 2, and now, of course, 10 of 12 on the year. 78% career, but was there ever a better kick under pressure than in 1989 when, with seconds remaining in the game for the Saskatchewan Roughriders against the Ticats, and arguably one of the greatest Grey Cups ever played, when he stroked one through from 42 yards to win it all for the Green Riders.
Well, I guess that was the biggest of the career. There were a couple in that game that were big as well. He has a new 5-year contract here in Saskatchewan. Wonderful guy to be around. Kerrigan tries to get the Argos rolling, took some heat there, got it away. The pinball by Clemens, and hard work by Clemens. He's close to a first down. Donaldson put the stop on the pinball.
Yeah, that was more
shaken up.
That was more than a stop. He unloaded on Mike Clemens here as he took the screen pass. Well, you talk about a quarterback having a great night in a losing effort. Take a look at the numbers for Mike Kerrigan. 327 yards. Pretty successful evening. They just have not had the point production to go along with it.
Yeah, you wouldn't think he'd be down by 21 points with 327 yards passing. The Argos could not get to the end zone in the early going of this game, in spite of the fact they had 3 really good opportunities early.
A nice screen pass, Mike Jovanovic with the good block, but watch the hit right there by 24 Vincent Donaldson. Pinball's looking to the inside, trying to pick up maybe some extra blocking and really doesn't see it coming, and the helmet goes right into the ribs, and I just think he had the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah, there's the good news right there as Pinball heads to the sidelines. 3 receptions for 83 yards, 7 rushes for 30 yards. A big part of the Argo offense any night you want to mention.
Yeah, the corners of Saskatchewan, Albert Brown and Vincent Donaldson, they really haven't been tested tonight. You know, Titus Dixon has not been a factor. Mazzoti's caught a few balls, but there really hasn't been any pressure on these 2 corners.
Argo's 2nd and 1. Mako has the first down out across the 55. 10:05 to go. It is not impossible if the Argos can get to the end zone quickly on this drive.
21 points, they trail.
Mazzotti to the near side. That means Titus Dixon flanks to the far side. The Argos right on midfield. Sideline toss. Mazzotti has it around one defender, Donaldson. And here goes Mazzotti down to the 4-yard line.
And just as I said, the corners hadn't been tested very much tonight. They go over the top in a good-looking formation that allows Mazzotti single coverage on the backside. Mike Kerrigan at the snap of the ball. He knows what he's got back there, and this is a perfect strike. He is on target tonight.
And Mazzotti adds to a 51-yard pass and run play with a good move to get around Benson Donaldson.
And of course, this is what the Argonauts need. They need to score quickly. Look at the numbers for Mazzotti. That's pretty productive evening.
From the 4-yard line, the Argos, 1st and goal. Kerrigan can't find a receiver. Almost had that picked off. Donaldson almost got even. Mazzotti was the intended receiver again. But Kerrigan really didn't have much of a chance to complete this pass, did he, Lee?
Well, Donaldson was all over Mazzotti. Mazzotti tried to work to the inside and then do that pivot pirouette back to the outside, but Donaldson had tremendous position. And well, the Argonauts are now, they're playing in 3-down territory here. No question, if they don't get it on 2nd down, they'll be gambling.
The pinball, Mike Clemens is back in. 2nd goal to go. Argos at the Saskatchewan 4. Touchdown toss from Kerrigan, and Gordon has it. Bob Gordon. 8:22 to go. There's lots of time for a comeback.
And they gave Saskatchewan an interesting look there. They've run a few picks tonight, and that time as Mazzotti came down to the inside, it looked like a rub for Gordon, and he just kept on going, and Drawhorn couldn't stay with him. So the Argonauts get one back. And you never know. There's plenty of time left on the clock. Nice throw once again by Mike Kerrigan. And the Toronto fans are worried about whether he could be the starting quarterback. I think he's put all those things to rest tonight.
It's now a 14-point game as the Argos have 21 compared to the Rough Riders 35. Don't go away. 8:10 remains at Taylor Field, Regina. Well, Tom. Hello, Tom. Tom, do you think he knows we're watching here tonight now? Well, he's been smiling since he took that hit.
Yeah, he took a hit from the middle linebacker of the Toronto Argonauts, Calvin Tiggle, and ever since that, it's been la-la land for Tom Burgess. Up until that, I don't know if he remembers, he's had a good night.
Oh, thank you. Hey, that's perfect. Nice over-the-shoulder catch by Darrell Wallace, and he starts back. Well covered by the Argos. Up to the defense for Toronto. Get it back in a hurry and hope that Mike Kerrigan can get it to the end zone again. 5 plays, 66 yards. And Gordon finished it off with a 4-yard reception from Kerrigan.
Yeah, that was his 3rd touchdown reception so far this season, so they're getting nice production out of Bobby Gordon. Now for Warren Jones, he doesn't want to let Toronto get back in this game. He'd like to put a few first downs together. There's 8 minutes remaining, but now when you got to lead by 14 points, here's where you really want to try and work the clock and get some kind of running game together if you can.
First down, Saskatchewan. Jones Couldn't get it away. Caught behind the line. Swift Birch, number 90, was there.
Yeah, on the other side of the coin for the Toronto Argonauts, here's where you as a defense have a chance to really get your team back into it in a hurry. They're thinking 2 and out. Rodney Harding with the play, some help from Swift Birch. And you know, as a veteran, I'm sure Harding and Donnie Moen are in the huddle saying, hey, come on, guys, this is crunch time. We need 2 and out here.
2nd and 12. Facing Jones and the Rough Riders. 7:14 to go, 4th quarter. Shotgun. Low snap. Jones got it anyway. It almost picked off. Crispina had an opportunity. Farthing was the intended receiver. And just what the Argos wanted, 2 and out.
Yeah, and instead of sitting back in a zone, which they've done on 2nd and long situations, they play a real hard man-to-man on 2nd and 12. And Farthing with the hook, and a good play over the top by number 19, Keita Crispina, who's had a bit of a rough night, but you know, he makes up for some of those not so great plays early in the game with a heads-up one right there. And they're going to get ball back around midfield.
6:58 to go as Matic left puts this one to the pinball right at midfield. And here comes Mike Clemens. What a run. Down near the 25, the pinball Mike Clemens. Stopped at last by Dale Joseph. The return 29 yards, the punt was 40. And the Argos are in great shape to get close.
Just what they needed. 2 and out, and now they're in great shape, and there is a lot of time left on this clock, John.
6:44 remaining. Argos set up nicely at the Saskatchewan 26. A reverse. This is Gordon trying the left side. Well read by the Rider defense, but there are markers everywhere. Couple of flags down. The indication against the Toronto Argonauts. Obi's gone to the bag of tricks a couple of times tonight.
Illegal block. Toronto number 54, first down repeated.
The center Blaine Schmidt on an illegal block. It'll be 1st and 20.
Not a bad call, though, to try the reverse to Bobby Gordon. He's got tremendous speed, probably the fastest of the Argonaut players out there tonight. But, you know, Brooks Finley, number 97, read it pretty well, and then Ray Bernard cleaned up, but the holding penalty brought it back.
1st and 20, far side, Masadi. He's been the clutch guy for the Argos.
Seems like he's always been the go-to guy in crucial situations for Mike Kerrigan. We haven't heard from Fairholm in a long time here in the second half. You talk about big plays, and every game usually comes down to 2 or 3. This is a huge one for the Argonauts as they're trying to fight their way back uphill.
Yeah, 1st and 20, they get 12 back. Shotgun formation. Kerrigan had nowhere to throw and nowhere to go. Sean Brantley, number 96, solid game. He played 3 for the Riders in 93 and has hung around for his 3rd in 94.
And Brantley gets the sack because of great coverage downfield. They double the 2 inside receivers and play single coverage on the outside with their corners. There was no way for Kerrigan to find anybody open, and it was a short time later that Sean Brantley was able to come up with the sack. And, you know, you look at defensive stands, Toronto had a good one. Now Saskatchewan, a pretty good one of their own. Ray Yock can breathe a little easier right now.
Here's a field goal try. The Rough Riders will gladly give up a single if Lamley is wide. And he's not. So 5:11 to go. And the Argos close within 3 with a 34-yard field goal. And it is now.
Need any assistance? The St. John's Ambulance Volunteers are located.
The Argos have to get the ball back in a hurry.
St. John's Ambulance.
And Ray Yach is well aware of that. Johnny sent Warren Jones in with clear instructions. Use the clock. If you're throwing it, throw it short. Don't throw anything that's even remotely covered. But most of all, use the clock.
35-24, Saskatchewan in the lead. 5:02 to go. Fourth quarter. And nowhere to run for Wallace. Keith Costello into the game for the Argos.